If you're like me and you own a W124 Mercedes, you might be finding that the fan speed selector is not actually giving you all of the speeds that it should. Well, today I'm going to show you how to remove it, how to repair it in this old car. So a common problem on these older Mercedes is this fan switch. It stops giving you all of the 4 speeds, and it certainly was the case with mine. I had low speed, and then on number 3 it gave me 3 speed, and that's all I had, low and 3. I have removed this since and had a fiddle with it. Now it gives me 3 speeds, but my high is still not working, so there's no difference between 3 and high. So what we have to do is to remove this panel, remove this, and I'll show you how it works and how to fix it. Now it's remarkably simple to get it out. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver and a pair of pliers. First step, we're going to remove the knobs, and that is pull off. These nuts here is what's holding this timber faceplate on. Some cars also have screws here and here, but the facelift model cars don't have them, only the earlier cars. Okay, with both nuts unscrewed, the panel should just lift towards you, and you just swing it up from the bottom. There's a couple of clips at the top here which will just pull towards you and they'll make their way out. So pretty easy to take that off. Next we've got 4 screws, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Take them out and this black section will lift away. Now's also a good time just to check all your light bulbs are working, so I can see the bulb for the rings are working and the center bulbs are working for the dials as well. With those screws removed, that piece will just come off. It's connected with a plug on the back there, so we can just depress the little button on there and it should come off. It's a little bit hard, this one. There we go. Now we've got our 2 controls here. This is the one we want to get out, this fan speed control, and it just clicks to the side. So if we click both of them to the side, it makes this plate loose. So we can push the plate back in, twist it around, and get that plate out the way. And here's our switch ready to come out. So the switch is connected also to 2 vacuum lines. I've marked that line there, and I've marked the side it goes to. You have to get these around the right way. And I've been in here before, so I marked that at an earlier time. So just make sure that whatever side they come off, they go back onto the same side again. And we've got one more plug here to undo. Right, and that is the switch out. So pretty easy. Let's take it to the workbench and I'll show you what's going on inside. Okay, so here we are on the workbench and we have the switch here. It's a very well made switch, as is typical of everything on this car. You can see that there's 8 connectors here. We've got our 2 vacuum connectors. We've got that bulb on the end, so we just have to be a bit careful while we're working. I've also brought the switch connector, so I'll pop that back on because we're going to need to turn it anyway. So what we need to do is to get into the back here, and that's just held on by a couple of clips. So I'll undo those clips and we'll get in. And that reveals the mechanism. Now mine's all scratched up because I've been in here before attempting to repair it, and I have, well, I made number 2 speed work where it wasn't before, but I still haven't got the top speed working. So how it works is there is voltage sent through here, and as you turn the dial, each one of these contacts closes. And as it closes, I'm assuming it just sends more volts down through to the fan, makes the fan run faster. So pretty simple. And as you come back, there's a little cam on the plastic wheel in there, and that just lifts the contacts up off the pin. So at the end of the day, all that's happening is it's not making good contact with the top of that pin. Now I've thoroughly cleaned mine because, of course, every time these make contact, they're going to be making a little spark, and so over time it gets dirty and erodes. But I've given mine a thorough clean and used some fine sandpaper to clean the contacts as well. in there, but I'm finding it's still not contacting correctly on that last contact. So what I'm going to do today is try and increase the tension on this piece of brass. Now it's very difficult to do with it in here because you can't obviously bend it down because the plastic's in the way. So you do have to just muck around for a bit with some pliers and various tools and try and get a bit more tension on those connectors. Now the only other fix I've seen for these is people just replacing them with a new one, but hey, I'm all about fixing what I can rather than just trying to replace it with new parts. And if we can fix what's here, at the end of the day, I would find that more enjoyable. So I have a pick like this, and I find that's quite convenient. I can slide it underneath the contact and it holds it there while I bend that contact down with another tool. And that gives it a bit more pressure pushing down on there. Right, so we're going to try that out in the car and see if we've got our top speed working reliably. Okay, let's plug it in. And turn all the speeds off. Right, key on. First speed. Yep. Second speed. Yep. Third speed. Yep. And top speed. Yay! Great, all working reliably. I'm going to put the cover on and put it all back together. And of course, putting it back together is just the reverse of taking it apart. Push this back through the plate. Oh no, pulled the bulb out. Let's put him back in. Is he still working? Yep. And then we'll push our plate into place. There we go. And I'll just double check everything's in around the right way. Yep, so off all the way, should be facing down. Right, put that back on. And our wood trim goes on carefully. There we go. Alright, nice and tight, and we'll throw our knobs back on. Let's try one more test, just in case it's unfixed itself in the meantime. First speed, second, third, and top speed, hooray! And there you have it. That's how easy it is to fix the fan speed selector switch in your W124. Why don't you follow along? There's going to be more little fix-it videos coming up on this channel. You've been watching This Old Car.